Sorry, it's just, you know...
Why did you tell Alex to start, the camera if you're not even going to be here for this? You just waltz in here, you leave me alone. Every time we do this, I know how this is going to end. You come late, so let's just do this.
I had a date, okay? I'm sorry.
It's okay. You know what? It's okay. Still love you. That's why we're roommates.
She's really she just enjoyed Brad and Brad Jr. She enjoyed this a lot.
You really okay, I'm all for nicknames, but come on. Okay, they don't want to hear this.
No, it's my dummy. It's a ventriloquist trick I do sometimes. I have a dummy that I call Brad Jr.
Seriously, that's really gross.
No, what? It's a dummy.
Again.
It's cool. Okay, she really liked it. No, she was a ventriloquist fan. So
was she
I kind of did a Barney Stinson and just kind of fit the girl. Just kind of. Anyway, this is GWS Gamers, and we're doing a
theme song now. We have a theme song that you just gave. Really? That's what you're gonna...
I guess we could do that from now on.
We're gonna...
You got a pro and cons last time. Anyway, we're doing Assassin's Creed 3. Come on, this is awesome. This is the end of a trilogy, the last of Desmond's story, as we've been told by Ubisoft, and it was... Honestly,
let's break it down into two parts.
Yes.
Let's have Connor's story and we'll have Desmond's story, because there was a big dichotomy the whole time between the two. I mean, there were parts where you were so immersed in story that it's like, nope, we're gonna pull you back out. It was like in previous Assassin's Creed games. In previous Assassin's Creed games, you had the option of leaving. Now you have the option, but it's forced as well. It happens as part of the story. It did force you out before in the
previous ones. In AC2, it forced you out a few times on purpose.
Not as much. Not as much at all. Like, this seems very, very forced.
No, but they did it, okay. They did it at times because, to me, Desmond's story is the main story. To me, that's what I've been trying to see more of, and they gave me more of it. So let's talk about Desmond's story first. It's just that, with his story, it was always just kind of like, here's this assassin, and then here's Desmond. And it's just, they kind of always kind of shit on Desmond a little.
Here's what I never understood.
I was glad they actually gave him a spotlight this time.
But here's what I never understood about Desmond. Let's give Desmond this awesome lineage, this great history of assassins. We've got Altair, and I can never say his last name, but it's Ibn Jahad something.
Yeah.
And he brings the assassins back to the assassins, takes their control, it takes Templar control from the assassins away from the Templars, separates the two, starts the war, and then Ezio, who initiates the Brotherhood and brings a group of assassins all over the world. All over the different countries, everyone recognizes his name from sea to shining sea. And there's Connor, who just boss.
He is.
And then there's Desmond. And Desmond,
though, is the one that all of this has been leading to, and to me, it was a little bit of a letdown the way they did Desmond stuff, the way they've been doing it, but to me, this is the best AC for Desmond because it at least showed his capability and him actually going out there and doing things.
I agree with that. I agree with that because you see him in action for the first time ever. You actually get to be Desmond and be an assassin. However, it was more the whole time, with the exception of the time where you get to play as Desmond, the whole time they just make Desmond out to be this little kid. Everything is just, come on, Desmond, let's do this. Come on, we've got to do this, Desmond. Anytime now. Come on, let's go, Desmond. Come on, who's a good boy? And it was such a, I don't want to say hand-holding, but it was very, come on, Desmond, you're an assassin, stop whining. And, I mean, there's even a part where they say, stop whining, and his dad legitimately says, you got to get your shit together, and punches him in the face.
Okay, but also, Desmond's dad is kind of a dick, though. As you find out in Revelations, he's the whole reason for Lucy doing this. And that's not a spoiler. You're supposed to know that before you actually play this game, which, sorry, another complaint about Ubisoft. There's a lot of complaints about Ubisoft.
I agree with this.
Because they should have actually did this in the game. The way they handled the whole Lucy thing was absurd. They should have actually been part of the main story, not DLC. That was almost seemed like it was just to push forward the story so that AC3 could actually come out. That's a different story altogether, really.
My name is Gary, and I endorse this message.
It's the way they treat the main story for Assassin's Creed has been poor. We've done, Altair's story, Ezio's story, and Connor's story has been fantastic. It's just Desmond's, they almost just kind of, I feel like someone really had a great idea for it, and then someone just got shut down and just said people don't care about that. But we care. Actually, I know numerous people who actually care about Desmond's story, and they feel disappointed by the way it never was as good as it could have been. But still, for this game, it did far better than the other previous Assassin's Creeds for Desmond.
For what it's worth, for those people who are sitting there saying that, well, Ezio was the greatest assassin ever, and I can't believe they didn't mention him at all in 3. They do. But here's the problem. It's not Assassin's Creed 2.3.2. It's Assassin's Creed 3.
Actually, they already came out with that.
Right. But this is Assassin's Creed 3. This is Connor's story, not Ezio. And the frontier, just beautiful. Just everything was great. The new hunting mechanism was fantastic. The tree free-running mechanism transitioned really well from frontier to city work.
It did.
However, my biggest problem is the buildings were really clunky and hard to get around. But it wasn't that big of a deal because you could still find a way to...
It's just nitpicking, just small stuff.
It's nitpicking. Speaking of nitpicking, sometimes the climbing was inconsistent. You'd be climbing a building, it would be like you're climbing...
But with trees, like, just wham, just...
Connor had that.
Bam to the lady.
Bam to the lady.
But, like, for Connor's story, I really loved it. And part of the thing, a lot of people don't... I find a lot of people don't like Connor. Like, there's, like, a big division on Connor because some people are like, Connor is just a whiny little...
kid.
Yeah.
But he is. That's
like,
the thing.
Like,
he grows.
No, like, part of the thing is he does grow, and the thing is, the whole point of the story, to me, this is one of the Assassin's Creed stories that honestly... It's the most grown-up story, and at the same time, it's the most political. Because... And maybe one of the smartest stories, because the whole point is that Connor's viewpoint is that I'm trying to do what's good, I'm trying to do what's right, and... Like, he's very naive to a great degree. And yet the rest of the world around him is so cynical and so much like... They just... I don't know, they feel almost angry at the world. They're already at this point where it's just like, they're already kind of slightly corrupt and... Not corrupt in like, they're a bad way, but just... I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying?
Alright man, we've had this before. We've talked about
like, okay, one of my friends actually came to me and was talking about
you have
Pitcairn.
other than me? Pitcairn?
Yeah, Pitcairn. Yeah, I have a lot of friends other than you actually.
Wow.
No, but you're my favorite. Okay, like come on.
What am I your
Brad and Gary in the evening.
Am I your bottom bitch? Is that what I am?
Anyway, is like me and my friend we're talking about Pitcairn, and like Pitcairn's saying that they need to do things this way, and pretty much Connor's going like, no, this is kind of wrong, and Connor's right. It is actually kind of wrong the way they're doing certain things. It's just. Pitcairn's also very right because you can't just be naive and just go, well, I'm going to do it this way and be completely honest with everyone because people...
Don't respond so well to that. Sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes people aren't the smartest.
You know who
I mean,
you
come
are.
on. Real Housewives, Jersey Shore, come on.
Well, I think, well, there's like two different groups of people that watch that. People watch it because it's a train wreck and people who watch it because they want to base their lives on it.
That's true.
It's a disappointment, but it happens.
Anyway, we've diverged from this, but I give Assassin's Creed 3, honestly, a 5 out of 5. Like, I really enjoyed the whole game. Excuse me, I burped. I'm sorry for all the ladies out there. That was rude.
Really?
What?
You just have no shame.
What? And just to tell you, my number is...
Okay, seriously?
555.
Really? We live in Chicago. Everyone knows that that's not the area code. But needless to say...
I do. I have that area code.
Are you 555? Is that how many times you're giving Assassin's Creed 3 of 5? Because there's 3.
I really loved it. Just the... I don't know. I don't know if I should talk about this part of it, the game, but... Like, to me, the ending's gonna make people go, I like it, or people are gonna be like, eh.
Okay, well, I'll try and... If I say... It's very difficult to explain the ending without giving...
No, we're not... I'm just saying, I'm just leaving it that vague. Let's just leave it that way. Just really very, very vague.
I liked Connor's story more than any Assassin's Creed story to date, to be honest. I like that they stuck with a character from childhood.
Ezio's such a close second.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Actually, you know what? They're tied for first. I love Ezio. Like, Ezio
is
my favorite. He shows such class and grace and maturity over the course of the series of his 3 games.
Yeah. Honestly, Revelations, I just played just to see who Ezio was gonna who's gonna be his wife. That was my main
true facts.
That was my main goal for that game.
Well, the thing that Connor just you see him grow up and you see him you see all the trials and tribulations he goes through, what forms him as an assassin, and it just
because the truth, like
it's
in truth, this game is just. In the closing note, this game is really just
worth it.
Like, it's worth it. Yeah, it is.
It's great just because they have so much packed into such a small amount, whereas Ezio had 3 games to span his his 20s, his 30s, 40s, and 50s.
Anyway, in closing, because actually I had another text. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Don't know who it is.
Well, you look at your text and I'll finish this, okay? How's that sound? So, Connor, great story, awesome life. Disappointing what happens. Ridiculous, this guy. But you know what? He's an assassin at heart. He does what he thinks is right. He does what he does for his people. And you can't fault him for that, even if he is naive. So, I would be forced, but I can't be forced because I have freedom. Go Assassin's Creed 3. 5 out of 5. So,
And smiley face.
I just love smiley faces. All right, well, he's gonna leave. Nothing new there. We're calling it a review.
Yep.
And
5 out of 5. Let's go. Let's wrap it up.
All right, we're done.
Yep.
5 out of 5. Till next time, kids.